The bottle sat on my counter, dark glass, red wax seal, a label in French I didn't recognize. My parents had sent it for my birthday. Rare, the note said, from us, with love. I was about to cut the foil when my neighbor leaned close, his voice so low it crawled beneath my skin. Back away. Now. Don't open it. I froze. His eyes weren't curious, they were terrified. I turned the bottle slowly in my hands. The foil shimmered strangely, rippled like water. The label edges peeled with the lightest touch. Not old, not rare, fake. The cork carried no scent of oak, no history, just chemical tang. He whispered again, tighter this time. That's not wine. My stomach twisted. I dialed 911 with hands that didn't feel like my own. And in that moment, the bottle wasn't a gift, it was a message. The police took it without questions, bagged it like evidence. My neighbor wouldn't look at me. Inside me, silence grew. Not fear, not yet, something colder. My parents. My own parents. Why did I believe it was love? Why didn't I question sooner? I replayed years of small moments, their sharp glances when they thought I wasn't looking, the way conversations ended when I entered the room. Birthdays they forgot, then overcompensated with gifts that felt heavy, rehearsed. They had smiled at my graduation, they had toasted at my wedding, and now they had sent me a bottle wrapped in poison. It wasn't random, it was deliberate. I kept my face calm when the police asked questions. I signed statements with steady hands. But beneath, something fractured. Love, loyalty, blood. None of it mattered anymore. I started quietly, always quietly. I called the vineyard on the label. They'd never produced such a wine. The bottle didn't exist. I traced the shipping address, purchased online, delivered under a false name. My parents' credit card, masked through a proxy. Sloppy, but intentional enough to hide from strangers, not from me. I searched deeper. Bank statements, transfers, calls they thought no one knew about. A number kept surfacing, tucked between utility bills and donations. A lawyer, estate planning, wills redrafted, and my name missing from every draft. My throat burned as I stared at the records. They weren't sending me gifts, they were cutting me out. And the bottle wasn't just about money, it was erasure, a slow, quiet elimination. One evening, I dialed the number listed under law office. A woman's voice answered. She spoke my father's name, confirmed his appointment, and then she said the words that rooted in me like poison. Finalizing full transfer to your other son. Other son, not me, someone else. The betrayal sharpened. This wasn't just financial, it was blood rewritten, lineage reordered. My existence trimmed away like a dead branch. The toxicology report came back. Not wine. Ethylene glycol, hidden under fruit extract, masked to taste sweet. A single glass would burn kidneys from the inside out. A quiet, invisible death. I held the paper cold against my fingers, and for the first time I understood. They hadn't miscalculated, they had planned. That night I visited them. I set the report on the table, watching my mother's hands tremble as her eyes scanned the words. My father stared at me, expression flat, waiting. No denials, no confusion, just silence between us, thick and final. I asked nothing. I wanted no answers. Answers are for the desperate. I simply said, "You sent it to me." My mother broke first, stammering, reaching. My father didn't move. He only looked at me as though I had already been buried. I didn't shout, didn't accuse. Instead, I slid the police report across the table, the one confirming an active investigation. Their fingerprints, their transaction records, the toxicology analysis, all of it. My mother gasped. My father's jaw set hard, but his eyes flickered, the first crack in his armor. I didn't expose you, I said, voice even. I just left the door unlocked. The truth will finish the rest. He tried to speak, but I stood, walked to the door, paused once, hand on the frame. You thought you could erase me quietly, but you'll find silence cuts deeper when it turns on you. And then I left. I never saw them again. The trial made headlines, the poisoned air. Reporters speculated about motives, inheritance, family fractures. None of them knew the real truth, that the betrayal began long before the bottle. I didn't attend. I didn't need to. At night, I poured myself real wine, deep red, bitter, alive. I drank alone, not to celebrate, not to mourn, just to feel the weight of survival in my veins. I no longer loved them, no longer hated them. I had simply emptied them from me, the way you drained venom from a wound. They tried to erase me with poison, but in the end, it was the truth that erased them.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.